big congratulations to Stephen Decatur High School's football team for a huge state championship victory last night. That was so much fun to watch. Let's go. It's Cape's turn tonight, so don't forget, gotta watch, gotta make sure we have details on that coming up later on in the show. For now, happy Friday.
You made it to Friday, Delmarva. Hopefully it's your payday, but most of all, thank you for joining us here on Coast Life. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo. Payday, always a good day to knock out a little bit of that holiday shopping that you may have coming up.
Especially when it is exactly on the first of a month.
Yes.
Because, well, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, because it's like paycheck's in, rent is out. Paycheck is in, your mortgage is out.
True.
You know
Although
what
I think December, do we get paid 3 times this month? Is that how it works? Because December's longer. That's usually, so we pretend it's like, woo, extra payday.
Yeah, depending on your pay period,
I think depending on the pay schedule,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people get paid 3 times in December. So if that's you.
Congrats.
Hey.
Yes. Don't forget to pay your loans, though. Those are due
Those
today
are first.
as well.
Yeah. Take care of those.
Then go have fun.
Yes. But we also like covering some other fun topics, and maybe you've come across this in your circle of friends, or maybe online, or maybe a circle of acquaintances. I'm sure there is somebody in your life that you know who has made their work, their job, their entire personality.
Oh yeah, and this is the issue, is I can think of people who have, and I almost don't want to say their profession, because I don't want to generalize it. I don't want anyone to come after me and be like, but I do that too, and I'm not. So should we say it and just preface?
So I think we can with some of them. So like the first one that kind of pops into my mind, and I only say this because like it also kind of has to be this way because that's how this job works, but like MLMs.
What's that?
The like the people that are like, hey boss babe girl, I remember like I have the like the leggings and the like the LuLaRoe and a lot of like the nail stuff, like they're like a lot of beauty that's the MLM.
The pyramid scheme. They hate when we say it.
They don't want you to call it that.
It's not a pyramid scheme, babe.
But if you build the blocks up, they look an awful lot.
Well, that's all we're saying.
Like a pyramid.
That's a great answer.
But that's a job that kind of has to be your whole personality because that's the only way you're going to make money in it, is if like you are constantly knocking on people's doors and their Facebook messages to buy their stuff.
I have a dear friend in the medical field, and you'll know if you meet her that she's in the medical field. I'm not going to say where in the medical field she is, because again, I don't want anyone coming after me, but yeah, she loves to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people in our industry that I think make broadcasting their entire personality. I know
yes.
I've come across many a person in this field where you're like, okay, you don't hesitate to tell people what you do like currently, now, forever.
It's almost, and again, we're not talking you're passionate about your job. We are talking, it's like the star signs. Oh, I do this because I'm a star sign.
Right.
I do this because I'm a Sagittarius. I do this because I'm a journalist. No,
yeah,
stop.
you'll be talking about,
relax.
You know, I don't know.
Anything.
Someone else's day, like say your mom's day, and
Yes.
she's talking about how she had this long day at work because XYZ, and then somebody else comes in and they're like, well, in the broadcasting industry, because, you know, I'm a broadcaster. Like, you come across those people.
And they do it to other people in the news. It's like, we do the same job.
We know.
I know that my busy day looks very similar to your busy day. Yeah. Oh, or the worst is like, I'm trying to think again how to say this nicely. All of us have stressful days.
Yeah.
Right? But you'll have someone who's like, I'm trying to think of a way to be nice, a cop or a firefighter who their stressful day is a lot more stressful than most of the rest of our stressful days.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
Say so, in a very different way.
In a different way, right. And so it's like, I never love when someone's like, I saw something really traumatic in a fire today, and then someone's like, well, in my job, I had to write too long of a paper. It's like, that's not the same.
I think it's when you start one-upping people, because
Yes.
and I think it's actually a very American lifestyle of like, your job is so heavily associated with your personality because our lives and our jobs are so heavily intertwined. And I've read before that like in other cultures, it's kind of rude if that's the first question you ask somebody, oh, what do you do? But like here, that's always the first question. I mean,
Always.
that's like the icebreaker when you're going on a date, when you meet someone new. It's always like, oh, what do you do for a living? Because it's so heavily intertwined with who we are as people.
Right.
Because that work-life balance isn't so balanced most of the time for us. And so like we do heavily associate our identity with what we do. It becomes a lot of who we are. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing in that area, but it is when you start the one-upping of like, well, in my job, because X, Y, Z, I do that. Like if you have to constantly remind people what you do. So I do try to keep that in mind of like, all right, let's talk about maybe hobbies that we have in common or you know, sibling stories that we have in common, like other things that make us human outside of our jobs that we have in common to talk about.
Literally anything else.
Literally
anything else. Again, we love you, and we're not trying to say that you don't have stressful days. We all do, and they all count and matter.
Yes.
It's just think of something else to talk about, please.
Yes. It might even, you might find it helps you out too. Like if you start a hobby where you're like, okay, this is my de-stressor and I do want to share about it. So like, you know, maybe pick up crocheting or something kind of fun.
Yeah. Everyone watching right now is thinking of one person. And if you're not thinking of someone, it might be you. It might be you. We're here to help.
But we love asking questions like this. Another question for you is, what's something very expensive that you have purchased, but you are okay with it? Like you are so glad that you spent the money.
I love this question. And my first thought is like my college education. Which I am sure. I always say I would pay $1 million to go back to ship. I'm just a lucky one that loved my college career. So that was very expensive. So I'm going to say my college education. I'm sticking with it.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
That's a good one. I don't know that like, I mean, yeah. I don't know that I would call that piece of paper worth it as far as just realistically, as far as like what I learned in school as opposed to what I do now. I've learned a lot of what I do in the field.
Yeah.
And like
internships, things like that.
Yes. And I think I've increased a lot of like trivia knowledge. I paid a lot of money for some trivia knowledge about 16th and 17th century English.
Okay.
You got Geoffrey Chaucer questions, I got answers.
There you go.
But it was fun. I think the experience of college and like learning from some of those professors, like that was very, very cool to see, especially some of the women professors that I was like, it was very cool to see somebody so smart, so intelligent, so confident in those roles.
Yeah.
But on a much sillier note, our bed. The king bed with the mattress topper. Like we put a lot of money in that thing and it is the best night's sleep. Although on the flip side, like it's almost ruined every other bed I've ever slept in because like I will never sleep as well as I do at home.
That's a great option.
Yeah.
I will say too, just recently, like more often I've been spending more money on clothes and I don't regret that, buying more solid, sustainable pieces.
Yeah, sustainable and like just nice material pieces. So we want to hear from you. We always do. So chime in on our socials. But we've got a great show to get to today. Our field correspondent Maya Henry is going to tell us what's coming up on Coast Life.
Coming up today on Coast Life, looking for a new buddy? We have a friend that will steal your heart. And theater lovers, there's a musical favorite headed your way. And it's never too late to plan for your future. Here's some expert guidance to protect your legacy. All that and more when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Coast Life, and today we're at Milton Theater, who always has something super exciting going on. And guess what? They have a classic that began yesterday. How about The Sound of Music? And of course, I have the person who has all the details for us. I have JC Brittingham, the development director. So JC, tell us about this production.
Sure. So we open on Friday, the 30th, and we run to December 10th. So we have shows every Thursday through Sunday, and we have 2 shows on Saturday. And it's just a wonderful, family-friendly holiday spectacular, and we're so excited for everyone in the community to come out and see this amazing cast.
How are ticket buyers, audience members feeling right now?
So we are almost sold out for every single show. Everyone in the community has been so excited to come see it. The cast is phenomenal. You're gonna hear some beautiful singing, and you're just gonna walk away feeling like in the holiday spirit. So it's going to be a wonderful run, and we're very excited to be producing this show.
Give us a little rundown about The Sound of Music for the ones who haven't even heard about it.
Sure. So it's again, a family-friendly show, and it's about a woman named Maria who comes to work for a family, this man who has 7 children, and she is a nanny for them, and she falls in love with the children, and she ultimately falls in love with the Captain Von Trapp, and decides to leave the nunnery, and they build a life together and a family together. It's just a beautiful love story.
What would you say is your favorite part?
I really love when the whole family sings together, when the children and Captain Von Trapp and Maria, Captain Von Trapp plays the guitar and they all sing together. It's just a really beautiful moment.
All right, so we're actually going to get to talk to the main stars. The people playing it is Amber and Greg. So thank you so much, JC, for speaking with us. Let's go meet the cast members. Tell me how this all started. How did you get your part, and how did you feel after you found out that you got the part that you kind of auditioned for?
Well, we sent in virtual submissions, and then there was a process where we did multiple videos, and then a final callback. I was elated. I've always wanted to play Maria, so it was very exciting.
And you told me that this is not your first running with the sound of music. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
So I grew up watching the movie, and then I was an understudy for Maria at a different theater in 2022, and then I was Liesel Von Trapp also in 2022. So this feels really special.
I bet. This is like her dream, guys. All right, and you, tell us a little bit about who you're playing.
Yeah, so I'm playing Captain Von Trapp, and he is ex-Navy. So he was in the Navy growing up, and he has 7 children. He's pretty strict. He's pretty intense. He has a whistle for all of his children to come on his command, and he has a whistle for his butler, for his housekeeper, and he's very strict. He makes his children march. They're in the classroom every morning. He's very by the rules, by the book, and so we see his evolution through the show when Maria arrives at his place, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's really great.
I really feel like this story has a really relevant message, even though it is a period piece and set in history. This show to me is all about faith and love coming up against evil, and the impact that makes is really beautiful. And when you combine that faith, love, and family, it's like a really powerful force.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful show, as Amber said. There's the movie, the classic movie that most people grew up with. And I love seeing the change in the characters throughout the show. I love seeing how Maria impacts the captain. And so, like, growing up, my dad was also in the Air National Guard, and he wasn't strict or anything like that. But I can kind of, like, relate my experiences in this show, having 7 children. And Maria introduces music back into the home because it hasn't been there for years. And it's a really transformative kind of piece, and I really love it. Yeah.
And how would you say you prepared for your role? You've been doing it for a while. Is it just something that naturally just comes to you now?
Well, I've been a nanny many times, so I do feel like that job has really prepared me well for this role. I love working with kids, and the kids in our cast are so talented and so sweet. So I definitely channel my inner nanny for sure. And also, I just think with this role, it is one of those roles where I don't have to put on a lot to play this one. I relate a lot to her. She's very impulsive, she's very passionate, and she makes a lot of mistakes, and that's what makes it relatable.
Yeah. Awesome. So this is a musical, so do you mind giving us a little selection?
Sure.
Nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth
or childhood,
I must have done something good.
That was beautiful. I love the eye connection. Okay, the chemistry, I'm feeling that. All right, so when is the last official day to get tickets? I heard it's selling out really quick, so give us some deets about that.
So the show closes December 10th, so gotta get your tickets before then.
Yeah, I think there are 5 or 6 tickets left for each show, I think is what they were saying, so get your tickets soon, yeah.
about to say, they're selling out, so you may even just only have tonight to get them. But make sure you go out and see this beautiful play. I'm telling you, the chemistry is there, y'all, so I think you should go see it. But guys, we have so much more fun coming up right after the break.
You're watching Coast Life, and we know that losing a family member is never an easy thing to deal with, but luckily there are people that can help ease some of the paperwork that's involved in that process, which you don't even think of being part of the process, but it is. And so the people that think of it all are our friends at Pristina Wells in Woodland. Amber Woodland joining us. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So first, I mean, tell us a little bit about, I know you had a special relationship with your great-grandmother, right?
Yes.
A lot of people aren't so, they don't get that opportunity to know their great-grandparents, but that's been a huge anchor and inspiration for you in your life.
For sure. I think my experience is unique, and I consider it a privilege that I was 18 when my great-grandmother passed away. So I have super fond memories of her. I could rattle off all kinds of details about her and my time with her when I was a child. And I was a freshman in college in Florida when she passed away. And I remember just feeling full of emotion, of course. It was the true real loss that I had experienced in my life. And I was 12 hours away from home, and I just wanted to be with my family. And at that time, I wasn't a lawyer yet. I didn't have the experience I have today. It was all new. But I think now, looking back on that, death is part of life.
Yeah.
And I think that the most important part of that process is being with the people that you love and being supported by those around you that mean the most and sharing memories of the person that you lost. But then there is a legal technical side to that I do in my career now that I think is largely related to the experience that I had as a child with my grandmother.
For sure. And I mean, I think that special connection and those special memories that you had with your great-grandmother is just part of the picture that you guys always put care and love at the forefront of everything that you do when we are dealing with clients and their families. But you mentioned that there's a big legal process that people aren't really prepared for a lot of the time when it comes to that part of life. So let's talk, I mean, even probate, that's a term that I'm like, okay, I see this here, but what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, if I have a will, it's going to be easy when I pass away. And I think that it's a goal of a lot of people to make things as easy as possible on their loved ones when that time comes. And what they don't realize is even with a will, probate is required. And so probate's this kind of coined term, but what does it really mean? Probate's a legal process with the local Register of Wills office that is typically a year-long, paperwork-driven, very public and very expensive process. And it's hard to be faced with those tasks when you're otherwise grieving someone you love. And you don't want to put your time, energy, and attention into this big, long, tedious, time-consuming public to-do list. You want to be focusing on a lot of other things. And sometimes when you've got all of those emotions and you have this process that has to be gone through, it just heightens all of it. So, of course, there's planning that can be done to try to avoid probate and to successfully avoid probate. But really the point of our conversation today is more so to just focus on the fact that we can help families get through the probate process. And hiring a professional to help them with that process can really ease that burden during an otherwise really emotional time.
Well, it allows somebody to grieve during that time.
And having someone who's navigated the process, I have a whole team of people that help me navigate that process for my clients. It really eases that uncertainty of what does the process look like? What should I expect? We can communicate with the beneficiaries on behalf of the executor or the administrator. So there are a lot of perks to having assistance when you're serving in that role of administering a loved one's affairs.
This is speaking to a lot of people, and they just want to know, maybe they need your services now, or they want to make sure they know where to go in the future. What's the best way to get in touch?
So we have so many resources online that are free. So I would recommend that anyone interested in just learning more about us, visit our website, pwwlaw.com. We have free podcast episodes, free blog posts, free articles. We offer free community workshops that are always listed. It's an opportunity for someone in the public to meet us, get to know us, understand that we take a really practical approach to practicing law and we're just normal people. And from there, of course, call our office. My team is incredible and they will help guide any potential client through our process.
And Amber, before we let you go, where are those offices located, just so that people know their options and where they can come see you?
Of course. So we have an office in Seaford and in Lewis, Delaware, and we serve all of the state. So especially after the pandemic, we've been offering virtual appointments. So we really can serve anyone from anywhere. In terms of estate administration, we are only serving families who have passed away, a resident of the state of Delaware, or who are currently residents of the state of Delaware. But in these cases, a lot of times the personal representative lives out of state. And so it's helpful to have a team like ours, this boots on the ground right here in Delaware, with physical office locations and good contacts and community resources to help families through that process.
Awesome.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and telling us about just all the resources that you offer. And again, I think it's always a good reminder for people to hear just how personally connected you guys are with your work and your clients.
Thank
and it's
you.
just reassuring, again, in those sort of heavy, dark times that really are just a part of life.
Right.
But thank you again for coming in. We do have some more Coast Life to get to, though, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Prosino Wells and Woodland Law.
You're watching Coast Life and the holidays are here, and what better gift than a new dog? We have Shasta here. Shasta loves the Coast Life couch. And of course we have Lee from Humane Animal Partners in Rehoboth. So Lee, Shasta was very shy at first until she got on this couch. So tell us a little bit about her personality.
Well, Shasta is a 9-month-old German Shepherd. So yeah, she's very curious about her surroundings, her new surroundings. And as soon as she did get comfortable, recognized that there was a comfy couch here, she loosened up a lot. But she is such a sweet dog. She's people friendly, she's dog friendly, she loves to chase tennis balls. She's a working dog, so that nose is always to the ground or in the air, and you know, she is looking for something to get into, keep her busy, and active too, right? She doesn't sit still for very long. Come here, girl. Good girl. She's been with us for a couple of weeks, and she just is, you know, needs a home that's ready for a dog that needs that attention. Someone who is committed to fulfilling her DNA and you know, giving her the job that she was born and bred to do.
She's kind of best of the both worlds. She's energetic, but when she's done playing, she's your cuddle bug.
She sure is. She'll love to snuggle up with you on the couch after a hard day's work. With these types of dogs, physical and mental exercise is so important. So not only chasing the tennis ball around the backyard, but also doing lots of obedience training. Scent work is wonderful, even agility. So things that get the brain going and exercise makes for a really well-rounded, purebred German Shepherd.
Yeah, so someone was looking into already getting her. One of our coworkers actually, we're already trying to write down the names, the description, the phone number.
Yep.
Who do you think would be the perfect owner?
Yeah, she's, like I said, young, right? So 9 months old. So she's not just a German Shepherd, but she's an adolescent, still in puppy stages. So a family that has the time and the energy to keep up with her and give her what she needs. If you know, when we get a little complacent with a dog that needs to work a little bit, that's when they become destructive in the house. And it's not because they're bad dogs, it's simply out of boredom. Yeah. And so when you have a bored dog, they're gonna look for things to entertain themselves with. So a family that has the time to give her those necessary outlets is gonna be the right family for her.
How did you find Shasta?
Well, Shasta was actually an owner surrender. And unfortunately, they didn't have the time for her. And they did the right thing by, you know, bringing her to us so that we could help find a family that would be a better fit for her.
The holidays are coming around, and a lot of people love the gift of puppies. Yes, love the gift of puppies. But what kind of owner do you think is best or what kind of qualities do you look for when giving that type of gift?
We love the idea of families giving the gift of a dog or a cat for the holidays. However, we don't love the idea of it being a surprise, because the person who is receiving the animal needs to be prepared for that responsibility. So we'll encourage folks to surprise their loved one by bringing them to the shelter to find the right match.
That's awesome idea.
Yeah, and there are plenty to go around. Not only purebred dogs, but also, you know, the ones that only the DNA test will let you know what they truly are. So, and our kennels are full, and there are a lot of animals looking to go home and stay cuddly warm on the couch with you for the winter time. So, you know, come by, bring your friends or family, and we'll help find the right match for them.
Hey, so how can people find you if they are looking to give this great surprise of a new buddy or a new pal?
Our website, humaneanimalpartners.org, is always up to date with the current pictures of all the animals that we have in our facilities, both Rehoboth and also I know she's getting bored, right? She's like, give me something to do.
We're gonna wrap it up, Jeff.
So our website is current with the pictures of all the animals that are available. Our Rehoboth location, we're open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do ask that you have the application filled out prior to coming in, just so that we can help make the right match right off the bat. But you are welcome to stop in and talk to one of our adoption counselors and learn about who we have in the facility.
So if you're looking for a dog that's energetic, fun, and always looking for a good time, Shasta is definitely your girl. But we have more fun and more Coast Life coming up right after the break. You're watching Coast Life, and guys, welcome to the home of your dreams. We're at Shell Brothers Bluebell home model right at the peninsula. So guys, let's go take a look inside.
So we put together a lot of information from all the buyers that we've seen over the last few years here, but not just in this neighborhood, but regionally. And we saw a lot of homeowners wanted to have their everything for themselves on the first floor of the house. And that's what we provided for them with this home. Now, with this home as well is we can add a second floor, we can add a basement. So if we do want that multi-level home, we can provide that with this home. So now that we're in the kitchen, we have some really wonderful options that I'd like to point out. This is what we call our professional kitchen. First thing is the command center. We have this beautiful, beautiful island providing you with tons of workspace as well as an eat-in kitchen opportunity. So another really neat feature of this home, and this kitchen specifically, is the option to have double wall ovens. This one has a really neat French door at the top, and then your more traditional on the bottom. The last thing that I'd like to mention is the amount of cabinetry that's in this kitchen. It is absolutely wonderful. There is storage for any and everything that you could possibly imagine, as well as some practical options like big slide outs. When you think about cooking and you have your big sauce pots and things like that, having these accessible right here below your range. Little practical options like that we've thought about, they just make life a little bit easier.
So we are currently inside of the living room of the Bluebell home model?
Yes.
All right, so tell me, if a person is looking at this model, can they get the whole thing, or is it more just like a personalized experience for their future home?
So both of those options are absolutely possible for our potential home buyers. You could have everything that model has, or you could really personalize it to be the right home for you. Now, what I mean by that is it could be as drastic of not adding the second floor. You could have the first floor in the basement, or the first floor and the second floor. So every option is yours to choose.
So let's go check out this bedroom. I love the way it looks. Connected bathroom, guys. So let's go take a look inside.
So with this bedroom, again, we have a lot of personalization that you can choose from. But one of the standards is going to be this gorgeous tray ceiling. And then what you can see, what we've added to that standard is some of this molding. We have a standard transom window above the bed, and then your optional windows on the side.
All right, Tyler, so you're leading me to the second floor of the home. What are some things that really pop out?
So the second floor, what really jumps out to me is its ability to be personalized to fit so many families' needs. Maybe it's not even here.
All right, guys, so we have came to the conclusion of our tour. So
we are in the basement. A lot of people wish they had a basement. Do you see a lot of people asking for this specifically?
Yes, with a lot of our customers coming from areas where they're just used to having that basement, and wherever that place may be. But it's always the hub for them for their social life and their recreation. And here in our basement, we have really put our best foot forward trying to create that really incredible recreation space.
All right, guys, so it is the end of the tour, but as you heard from Tyler, it's as simple as a request to get any of these beautiful amenities or even rooms. So there's more Coast Life coming up right after the break.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Shell Brothers.
Hot fries and Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't really like it. Hot Cheetos and Chick-fil-A sauce. You guys, that is not good. No. Sour cream, pepper, tahini, dip nitro Takis. 10.
All right, Coast Life, we have a spicier addition to our TikTok Made Me Try It today. So in the TikTok, you saw we have all things hot fries, hot flamin' crunchy Cheetos, and we also have Takis. So in the first part of the video, she tried these two chips with Chick-fil-A sauce. So let's see how this is gonna taste. All right, gonna try two. Open this one. It's a lot of noise. All right, and then we're gonna try Cheetos. So here's the Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm gonna put it on the plate. All right, let's try hot fries. There we go. Honestly, it just tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce. So I think I would give it a 5 out of 10. Let's move on. All right, hot Cheetos used to be my favorite snack in high school. So let's see if they still remain. Put in the Chick-fil-A sauce. I would give this one definitely a 3 out of 10. Really sweet, but doesn't go together. All right, let's try hot Takis. So I know when I was in middle school, hot Takis was the big thing. So let's see how they taste with sour cream. We're gonna try two Takis. We're gonna scoot this out. And of course we got light sour cream because my stomach cannot handle anything more. So let's see. All right, for the grand reveal. Definitely 1,000 out of 10. All right, so I'm giving it up for the Takis and the sour cream. If you guys have any other TikTok made us try it that you're thinking, I don't want to try it myself, but of course the Coast Life girls got you, please send it to our email at team@coastlife.com. But guys, we have so many more fun things coming up right after the break.
Leah, when I say $5, what do you think of?
Probably the $5 footlong
Sandwich, right?
That's right.
Okay, $5 footlong sandwich. We are emphasizing sandwich because you can now get a footlong cookie with your footlong sandwich.
I love it, honestly.
Obviously, this is at Subway.
Yes.
If you didn't put that together.
Yes.
At
Do you remember the commercials if that jingle was like burnt into your brain back in the day?
$5. Are we allowed to say the whole thing?
I think so.
We'll leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue. But anyways, I'm obsessed with this. I love it. I need it. Footlong cookies not even enough for me at Subway, but I'll take it because their cookies are so good.
Dang, because we were going to share.
No, I'm not sharing. You got to get your own footlong cookie. I'm sorry.
All right.
If they have the white chocolate macadamia.
Those are good.
So you get it.
I do remember those, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Subway claims, this is why they're doing it. They claim it's because they have the best, and when I say best, cookie in the fast food industry. It's like they sell more cookies than any other fast food group.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
They
they're
say
wrong
it.
about that. It's definitely up there because I mean, like everybody offers that cookie for like what 10 and under or
Yeah.
whatever for free, and then once you're an adult, you have to pay for it, and like you never do.
Yeah.
Except at Subway.
I do love the McDonald's warm chocolate chip cookie though. But Subway cookies take the cake. So these are in select cities, coming out on National Cookie Day.
Fun.
So if you get this $5 cookie, you know where to bring it. If you don't finish it, we'll take it
Well,
off
don't
your
bring it if
hands.
you don't want to share.
No, I'm not sharing, sorry. Nope. It's either got to be for me or for Leah. Anything else, we share. We go together. It's true. But I thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
Yes, it is about that time for us out of here, though. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Coast TV News at 5 takes it from here. We'll see you Monday.